Without further ado. Without further ado, let's dungeon our dragons, alright? Stream can hear us now.
Please,
Oh, that's his Leviathan.
please.
Um
Okay.
how will the Buddha's presence affect our session? Let's find out.
He is here.
He's
Just is here.
okay.
He is here. He's so strong.
So last we left off, you all made it past the Guardian, the first Guardian, standing before the entrance to the Underdark where Domi is hidden away. You made it underground where you found a city within the Underdark. As you entered this city, it became very clear very quickly that without the presence of magic, this city was very different. You were spotted, though not immediately and not all of you. And those of you who were spotted, being Rain and Vemfer, were led to what you can presume to be heart of the city, known as the Archive. There, those of you who were invisible and sneaking around revealed yourselves, and you met with a man known as Agnes Deepwing Arnotta, the son of Velnaronki Arnotta, and the High Elder of this place. You... the Great Elder of this place, the city known as Domina Arnotta. He is also the master of the Scholar's Archive, which is the building that you are in now. He outlined to you that his purpose and the purpose of all within this city is to act as a trial, to act as a choke point to prevent the unworthy from wielding Domi. And he began with a test of character and a test of morality, where, under the effects of a Zone of Truth spell that he was able to cast due to him wielding the book known as the Line Crafter, he questioned each of you. He gained an idea of your character. Then he gave you rooms and told you that you had, at the very least, made it through the first trial, the first questioning, and that your first true trial was to begin, though he did not give an exact, I don't believe he gave an exact time or day, just that it would be some time from now and you should rest while you wait. Avil Dare, one of the scholars of Arnotta, one of the sages of Arnotta, showed you to your room, singular room, where you all decided you would be staying together, gave you a ring that can access your room and the arcane elevator, and each of you were given pins that will disguise you as drow should you want to avoid unwanted attention. You were told that you are welcome to explore the city, but that you will be unable to pass through one of the gates that would lead you closer to the relic. And she told you that you could come meet her downstairs on the first floor in the library if you wanted to speak with her about anything, and showed enthusiasm to learning about the surface world. But Each of you are currently within your room. What do you do?
Well, Hellebore is very excited to start to explore this place. She will kind of excitedly turn to everyone, running over to Helly in particular and grabbing her hands and kind of jumping up and down. Oh my gosh, this is great. I mean, well, the trials are still probably going to be like pretty hard, so maybe not great. And I mean, honestly, like who is he to like judge if we're worthy or not anyways, but still it's like a path. Like we have like, goals now. And Helly, the book, like you're totally gonna get it. And then you can use magic.
Yeah. That is that really? She kind of looks to everyone for this question. Is that really how you all feel all the time?
Is what? What exactly?
But with the when he put the thread in, like through you.
Yes.
So, for just to be clear, when he threaded you with the weave, you felt far more powerful, far more energetic than you normally do. That was not normal for you.
Okay.
It was.
Helly would still ask because Helly doesn't know.
Yeah, obviously. The closest comparison I could make was it would be like a fucking heroin shot. Just that jolt of energy flooding through you that is not normal for you.
It was definitely way more intense than just like because regular existing is. It doesn't feel like that all the time.
Okay. Because I don't know if I could handle it if it was that intense all the time.
That would be quite overbearing. It's not, though. I'm sure everyone feels differently.
Might have to do with the book itself, so. If you do end up wanting to use it, you might want to be careful.
Huh?
If you do end up using the book to do that, then it most likely will feel somewhat similar for a while at least.
I don't intend on using the lay books any more than I need to.
Probably really smart.
But it is great that we found it. It could be very helpful to us if we're actually able to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think of the guy? Velnaranki's son, I guess.
Mm-hmm. She kind of tilts her head back and forth, thinking on that. I don't think I have much of an issue with him, any more than I do most people that are in a position of authority. I mean, he seemed a bit pompous, and it does rub me very much the wrong way that he believes that he has the right to withhold the weapon from me after knowing who I am. It should kind of be there's a lost item, return it to its rightful owner thing, I would think, instead of he has no right to decide if we are worthy or not. And I think the fact that he thinks that he does is kind of bad, but otherwise he seemed okay.
I mean, his father was on the opposite side of the war as yours, so
it doesn't
be a safeguarding thing.
It doesn't seem like something, that Relapai would have told him to do.
Mhm. So I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. If we need to go through the trials, then that's what we need to do.
Have they told us what the first trial is? They said it was
combat,
right?
yes.
Yeah. And they did tell us that we'd use magic.
Yes.
Yes.
Helly thinks about it and says, "Do you think they're gonna threat us for combat?"
They'll probably have to if we're gonna be gonna be able to use magic.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, the way I understood how the book works is that you can choose areas to be like magical or not.
Wouldn't that be
might just set up like an arena to make magical?
sure? But like, I mean, it'd be great if I could summon my servants to help. But if I can summon them, then other people can come here too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
But I'd be ready and keep an eye out for any people just appearing and sneaking off.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably the first people ever to actually do these trials.
Does
That's
seem
kind of what it seems like, yeah.
So they could completely underestimate us or overestimate us.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we very, very barely got by, the first one, it's something, but we still got by it. That counts.
Well, I do hope they don't have this combat, like, assuming we were able to actually beat her.
Yeah, that's concerning. Probably not.
If Didi, I need to go get Didi. She doesn't know we're going to be staying all night. She's going to be so worried.
Oh, that is true. Well, if that works out, I wanted to maybe walk around the city just a little bit. Yeah, the disguises, obviously. Otherwise, it would be, there would be attention, and that would be bad. But I mean, it is pretty cool. Like, no one else has been down here for thousands of years. Like, a completely closed off society like this, they probably have like, I mean, what do they eat? Like, they can't really import anything. So, like,
You think they eat spiders?
Or
like
this.
Spider thread?
I imagine
Mhm.
insects would be abundant here, so probably something around those lines at the very least.
I highly doubt it would be spiders itself, though. That would seem very.
I suppose it could just
ordinary.
be like most of the Underdark and, mushrooms and, different types of fungi. But still, like supporting a city this size, like this closed off, is a lot.
Anyway, I need to go get Didi. And so Helly will slip on the disguise ring and then start to make her way out.
The pin, you mean?
Pin, yes.
The pin.
The ring
pin,
is for the elevator.
Yes, the ring is for the elevator and the door. The pin is the disguise. You you grab your ring, you slip on the pin, and you make your way out.
Jennifer will follow, doing the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dee Dee's like hours away, isn't she?
Yeah.
You aren't too deep into the city, to be clear.
Right.
It's maybe an hour and a half to the edge of the city on foot.
God. I mean, I guess that's normal if you're in this timeline. But like, damn, that sounds awful.
Could you roll me a perception check as you move through the city?
No.
Just Helly, or
Both of you.
okay? Just making sure.
15.
Perception 16.
Okay. You move through the city. You see, you hadn't paid too close attention to your surroundings as you were trying to follow after the visible members of your party, and in particular trying to follow after Rain. One minor retcon that I forgot I was going to mention at the start of session. Even when threaded, you wouldn't have been able to feel Dwergus's presence. I thought more about it, and I realized that doesn't make sense for you to have been able to feel him.
Okay.
So he is
Interesting.
just gone down here. You hadn't paid too close attention to your surroundings, trying mainly to follow after Rain, and stay out of the way of people. You had noticed what appeared to be carriages moving through the streets, likely as a means of faster travel. But now that you have the time to actually look around and take in your surroundings, it becomes clear very quickly that these carriages are not being drawn by anything. They seem to move on their own. And you see people tend to stick to the sides, the edges of the roads, letting the carriages take control. And all of the carriages seem to be kind of closed off as well. The kind that you would imagine nobility to use. You see these kind of wooden carriages moving themselves through the city with people presumably inside. As you make your way through, you see as you make your way through the city, you see the people moving to and fro, chatting with one another, hanging out at various areas. You see some people moving with a purpose, others just out for a stroll. The city feels very normal for something dedicated to Lolth, for something so abnormal, for something so cut off from the outside world. But you make your way to the edge of the city, and you go beyond the borders of the city and towards where you left Dee Dee. As you grow closer to her, you... What is Dee Dee's dexterity bonus, Tabby?
Do-do. 0.
What are your passive perceptions, both of you?
10.
Yes. Also 10.
You approach where you had left Dee Dee, and you do not see her anywhere.
Oh, Ellie. Ellie's like, Dee Dee! Dee Dee!
Venfer is just immediately. Dee Dee's not there. Venfer just is immediately searching.
What if something got her?
As you call out for her, Venfer, you can go ahead and roll either perception or investigation as you begin to look around.
Can I roll panic attack?
Sure. Whatever you want that to look like.
I would like to freak the fuck out.
I mean, to be fair, frying? Hello?
Crying?
Crying is a free action.
Clever.
You know, I'll use my trusty frying pan.
As a
drawing
drying pan!
It's 22 on investigation.
You find Dee Dee, hidden behind a rock, looking scared and confused as this drow woman is calling out her name.
Oh, fuck!
Yep.
As you approach,
I don't think Vemper thinks about it either. She just walks over. It's like, there you are.
she
there you are.
like kind of backs away from you, and says, "Be careful. I bite."
What are you talking? Oh, right. You should take the pen off.
Venfer, you're okay.
Oh!
Yes, we're more than okay. We're totally fine.
I will also remove my pen.
Helly! And she flies over to you.
I will hug Dee Dee. So you had me worried. Don't ever do that again.
I didn't know who you were. You looked like one of them. I didn't want to get seen. They've come out this way a few times. They look like maybe scouting parties or foraging groups or something.
If you're with us, I think you'll be fine. We talked to their leader. We have to do some trials. But they don't start till tomorrow, and I didn't want to leave you out here all night.
Oh. Okay. Sure.
I will catch Dee Dee up on everything we have learned so far as we walk back to the city.
So, he's saying he's Valnaranki's son?
Yeah.
I didn't think he had any children.
I mean, I didn't really know a lot about the guy in the first place. I'm not that surprised. Is it surprising?
Well, mind flayers don't reproduce. Not biologically.
Was he always a mind flayer? Could he not have had a kid before that?
I mean, I guess he could have, but I don't remember him having had a child before the end of the war, and...
So do you think he's lying?
I think he believes he's right.
Could be adopted, maybe? Do mind flayers adopt?
Not typically, but I mean, he was anything but... She wouldn't have... Valnaranki was anything but typical. He was the first.
And now he's like a big brain, which is pretty atypical, I would say.
Yeah, he, So, I mean, it might have been possible.
Well, no matter if he is who he says or not, we should definitely get that book from him. No matter what he says, he is definitely more mortal than we are. And so he is corruptible.
Right. Yes, you're probably right.
Probably?
You are right.
Yeah, I am.
I don't know, their society is kind of built around them having it, isn't it?
Well, it's built around them not having magic. And I mean, we can just leave that. And he seemed pretty ready and willing to use it if he needed to. And they said that they were going to give us magic for the combat trial. So, like, I don't know. Do you really think it'd be better here?
I don't know. The books, they have a mind of their own.
That's what worries me.
Yeah.
He's been able to keep it under control for so long, but they haven't really had any interactions with anyone else. If people start actually coming in here, like the cursed ones will, the book might choose them over him.
The books, they don't follow the rules that we understand, though. If it wanted to leave him, it would have already gone to seek a more suitable user. Which is worrying.
Maybe they said that this book is the least corrupting. Maybe what they mean is the most patient. Maybe it was waiting for the correct time, and it's now, and it's me.
You're probably right. I'm probably overthinking things.
Probably, yes. The city's cool, though. I don't know if we're going to be able to get you a pin, so you might get some stairs, but...
Right. We'll figure something out.
Mhm.
But, I mean, in the meantime, you said you were able to use the arcane elevator because she had a ring, so it'll probably at least let me get up there. Well, you have the ring. So maybe I just stick with you.
I mean, duh. You were going to do that anyway, weren't you?
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like at some point in this journey, Helly wanted to carry Dee Dee and then realized Dee Dee is too heavy for her. So it was like, no, actually, it would be cute, but you're flying.
Unfortunately, you're a bit heavy for me.
I mean, Dee Dee has wings, right? She doesn't hover with
Mhm.
magic. No, okay, I didn't think
Correct.
so.
That's why I was going to offer carrying her, because I imagine that would be tiring. But, I mean, I guess she can also just walk.
You make your way back. In the meantime, Akatala, Hellebore, anything you two are doing while the others are gone?
Please tell me, for the love of goodness and gracious, that someone left Spider Philly with Elbor.
I mean, Spider Philly was with Rain.
Who
So, yeah.
probably would also stick with Helibor.
Okay, we're just gonna say that that's a thing, so that I can feasibly do things without her curling up in a corner and dying because she doesn't have her mind guy.
My trustable
Helibor.
mind friend, what will I ever do?
Helber at least is Shelter Akatala.
Akatala, did you have any plans on things to do?
Oh, well, I was about to head down to the library, see what information I can get from our lovely new friend in return for being able to talk about home. What about you?
That works out. I mean, I wasn't gonna like talk or anything, but I was planning on looking around the library. There might be a few cool things potentially there. I mean, I'm sure they have like really, really old books, right? And they don't have like any of like, the historical lies or anything. I can get like real stuff.
You know, that is very true, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we'll be here for a couple of days? Like, we're not going to be here for one night and then disappear. That might be a question I have to ask.
I mean, it sounds
That is
like there's
definitely something
multiple
important.
trials, so we're probably gonna be here a few days at least, I would think.
Wonderful. Okay, well, in our case, I can do my research later. With the books, at least. I'm going to go do verbal information gathering as I do. Well, yeah. Do you remember how the elevator worked? Because I wasn't paying much of attention.
I can figure it out. I'm pretty confident I can figure it out.
Wonderful. Well, do you have anything you need to do here before heading down, or?
Mm,
We go.
I could use a nap, but I'm also really excited, so the nap can wait for later. Let's go.
Wonderful. And she will very quickly leave the room and start walking towards the elevator.
Indeed.
Okay. Does Helibor recall how to use the elevator?
I feel like she was paying quite a bit of mind to that in case we need to get the fuck out of here later.
Fair enough. Then, yeah, you guys easily are able to get down to the first floor. As you exit the library, you see... Or, the library. As you exit the door, you see...
Akashala would have put the pin on in the elevator.
Okay.
Just real quick do that, because that is a thing.
Yeah, you do that, and I feel like Elibor will begrudgingly do that as well. Now the question is this going to be intriguing, or is this just going to... Does it cover her eyes?
It doesn't. I don't think it would change what your eyes look like.
Hell yeah. She still gets to be upsetty spaghetti.
It also doesn't hide your extra arms.
Yeah.
Which does
Or the
make you
tentacles, I'd
stand out.
imagine.
Yeah, the tentacles, it does disguise as normal tails, but it's still 3 tails.
Out of my shoulder?
Oh, out of your shoulder. Right. I forgot where your tentacles came from. Yeah, you definitely look very strange for a drow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does not turn them into tails. I think they remain tentacles. Though I almost want to say they look more like Mind Flayer tentacles. I think that's what I'm gonna say. They look more like Mind Flayer tentacles.
Okay.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
Which is funny because, I mean, they somewhat already did. They looked like squid ones with teeth on the end. Now they just look like squid.
Yeah. It basically just smooths out the ends of the tails.
Fuck you,
And changes
turns
their
you to a
color.
squid.
Changing their color is probably the important part here.
Mm-hmm.
And it smooths out your tail as well, making it look less furry.
Okay.
I just had to pull up Hellebore art to remember what exactly she looks like.
Yes, she has tentacles on her shoulder, one on each.
Yes. Okay. You make your way down into the library. There are signs that point to where everything is. They are written in both common and undercommon. Common, undercommon, and ancient celestial. There are 3 translations. And you can read 2 of those translations, I believe.
Hell yeah.
To Akatala, they probably look like all those signs in Canadian airports that are written in both English and French.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yes, I can read half of this. But following the signs, you make your way into the library. You notice, no roll required. Tensions seem to be way higher in the archive than they were when you arrived. People are moving quickly to and from. You see, like, people carrying stacks of, like, paper, like, strange white parchment, like, pure white and square. And it seems almost flimsier than regular parchment. You see, armored folks, quickly making their way to, either to or from, where the sign was pointing for the barracks. As they seem to be preparing for something. Certainly seems like a strange all-hands-on-deck situation, but as you make your way into the library, you see a drow woman behind the counter with kind of a scar that crawls up her neck and onto her face. Long, fluffy white hair, these kind of dark eyes that seem to stare through you, and she's dressed in what appears to be leather armors of sorts, with kind of odd designs on them. As she looks up from a book in her hands, and smiles. Welcome. I am Alexstress Soulcage. How may we be of assistance?
What language does she speak in?
She does speak in Ancient Celestial.
Cool.
Does Akatala look like visibly not on the same page?
Akatala definitely looks. It kind of blinks and slowly looks down towards Hellebore in like it's trying to see if she understands and can translate.
I feel like Hellebore's debating just speaking in common, but she already knows this disguise is it's if you want to call it that. She doesn't want to bring any more attention to herself. So
Alexstrus does seem to be eyeing your tentacles, particularly your tentacles, curiously. There does not seem to be any like malice or hatred or anything like that. Just pure curiosity, like a scholar looking at something undiscovered.
okay. I feel like Helibor will she'll speak in Aegis Celestial back.
Hello there. We're just interested in books.
She smiles. Of course. By all means, peruse. Come find me if you have any questions.
Of course, we'll do that. Thank you.
Lean over and whisper to Akatala.
Basically, we can look around.
She doesn't speak. She just kind of like nods and starts like nods to Helivor, kind of like bows a little respectful like head bow to the one behind the counter that she didn't understand, and then we'll start heading in, looking around curiously. Definitely looking for is it Avel?
Avil.
Just Avel. Avil. There we go. I got it.
As you look around, the library is massive. It is the actual library section of the archive is 3 stories tall. And it is kind of separated from the rest of the archive building, in that like the 3 stories of the library are the only way in or out is on the first floor. You see quite a few people moving to and from, specifically the various like sections that seem to be dedicated to the surface. There are books about the surface. Like there are whole segments of the library dedicated to information on the surface world, divided by category. There's like culture, history, politics, biology, fauna, flora, and there seem to be a larger concentration of people within that section. You see, finding Avil is not difficult. She is sat at a small table towards the center of the area, and she currently has a few books stacked next to her with one in her hand.
Aktal is going to like kind of lean down to Helibor and in common will say, I am gonna head over there. I don't know if you want to as well, or if you just want to go ahead and start looking. But I don't know, have fun with whatever you choose.
Helibor has the I feel like even through the disguise, she's got that overstimulated cat eyes going on right now. As she was like, okay, I'm just gonna go in here and I'm just gonna find these books and it's gonna be so easy. And she's now realizing she's gonna have to ask for help. The travesty. She'll kind of nod to Akatala.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'm gonna ask for. I feel like I'll be here for days if I don't.
Well, no harm in asking for help.
I guess.
Well, maybe harm, but never shame. That's the real one. Well, have fun, good luck, and she's gonna start walking off.
For the sake of Hellebore not feeling alone, Rain is probably going with her.
Hell yes.
Which means I'll also give you advantage on any like investigation checks or anything to look for specific books, and count that as Rain helping.
Okay.
Which I feel is only in character when it's Hellebore's idea.
Fair. Well, that is what she's doing for her segment, is going to the front and asking.
Okay. As you turn back around and make your way to the front desk, you see Elixirus glances up and smiles. Ah, you're back. Can I be of assistance?
Yeah, I'm realizing this place is a little big.
It is the
Do you-
largest library in Domina Arnotta by quite a bit.
Oh, yes, I knew that. Yeah, so, I was wondering, do you have, I'm just doing a few research projects, and I was wondering if you maybe, there are two things in particular that I'm kind of looking for. Do you have like religious texts, like the devotionals, stuff like that?
Of course, we have a whole quarter of the second floor dedicated to the many religions of both surface and underground worlds of the past and the present.
Okay.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Um, I- um, hmm.
She gives you a patient
I'll-
smile.
I'm sorry. I'll find. I'll find. I'll find. I'm good. Probably. I guess if I get too overwhelmed, I'll come back. But yeah, I'm sure I'll find it.
Sounds good.
The other thing, do you have stuff on demons?
Demons. We do. There are some texts in the religion section, but what you're probably going to want to look for is up on the third floor, extra planars. There should be a section about 3 rows large dedicated to demons and the abyss.
Okay. Do you know, is there like some that are like about specific ones, or are they all just kind of a general thing?
I know there are some about specific demons. I personally haven't frequented that section too much. Give me a second. She turns to a strange device on the desk. A kind of large block of metal. And she kind of taps a few buttons in front of it as she seems to kind of stare at the metal box. After about 30 seconds, she nods and says, quite a few of the kings and queens of the Abyssal Lands we have specific documentations on, as well as general documentations on the hierarchy. I believe we have currently there are 3 books at the moment about the demon known as the Chrysalis Prince, though we don't have. They're mostly speculative and based on
3?
3, yes. Those 3 are she kind of she presses a couple buttons and then says, you will be looking for they're sorted alphabetically. Prince of the Abyss and his influence. The Shards of the Chrysalis Prince. And the Abyssal Chrysalis and why it was created.
I feel like Elbra has like whipped out her book by this point, and she's like scribbling this like intensely.
Oh, okay. Is
Unfortunately, 2 of these records are only available in the Surface Common Tongue, and one of them is available in either the Celestial Tongue or the Abyssal Tongue.
okay. Well, I I speak Celestial.
She kind of does like a weird hand gesture, like my mouth, your mouth.
and I was I actually I can speak Common for the most part, so I don't know.
Wonderful. Though I find reading Common to be harder than speaking it. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Oh yeah. Is this the kind of place where we can like check out books for like further study, or is all of the reading in here?
You are welcome to read in here, or you're welcome to check them out. We will just have to get you registered with your either your identification or your, and she nods towards the ring on your finger, your archive ring.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll take a look at them first. See if I if I peruse. That's the word. Yeah, I'll do that first. Okay. I think that is everything that I needed. If I can't find what I'm looking for in the religion section, I'll be back.
She smiles. Everything should be sorted by category, then alphabetically. Alphabetically in the Celestial Tongue.
Of course. Thank you.
Of course.
Helber is going to awkwardly slink off, and she's gonna go to which one? I think she'll go to the religion section first. She'll see how difficult it is to find that.
It is not difficult at all. You make your way up the stairs, and actually near the stairs there's a little like layout map for the 3 floors. And you can see, sure enough, on the 2nd floor, about a whole quarter of the 2nd floor is dedicated to various religions, and then is broken up into categories from there. So there's surface religions present, surface religions past, Underdark religions present, Underdark religions past, forbidden religions with quotation marks around the word forbidden, and like alternative cults.
Okay. All right, she is going to go through there as quickly as possible and try to find she's doing it like secretly, like the kind of she's acting like she's like in the fucking smut section with how like sneakily she's trying to pull this off.
Okay.
Like she's probably drawing more attention to herself by like slinking along like a fucking Skyrim stealth mission right now. But she is going to go to basically is going to rip off every single book that she can possibly find that has anything to do. I mean, if they have anything on her dad in the religion section, she'll take it, but she's specifically looking for anything on her grandfather.
Okay. Roll investigation at advantage.
Okay. $16.
16. In Surface Religion's past, you find quite a few books on the followers of Relapai, and discussion of the. There are some books there that are like discussion of the downwards trend of followers of Relapai, how in the past they were kind, benevolent. Like they believed Relapai to be a kind and benevolent entity, who like did not rush death, saw death as an inevitability and life to be as something to be cherished. But over time, after his death, he slowly was warped into this visage of a ruthless god that hunts you down no matter what. There are books talking about more specifically the beliefs of the followers of Relapai, and how mortem affected those beliefs. In the Surface Religions present, as well as the Forbidden Religions sections, you do find books about the modern followers of Relapai, death cults who worship in blood and sacrifice in the name of a god who is dead and does not care for them, though they do not necessarily know that. Some of these books even comment that these practices seem very much in line with followers of demons and devils, and that whatever god they think they're communing with may potentially be either demon or devil. As for your father, you do actually find 2 books, both dedicated to religious worshippers of mortem in the alternative cults section. One of them seems to talk about followers of mortem in terms of Voivode, the Prince of Death, the Crest Hunter, and another talks about followers of mortem in the sense of Mortem von Zarovich, King of Death Jungle, and the dichotomy between cults that follow the true history of Mortem and cults that follow the history that the Surface seems to recall of Mortem, and how there are cults of both, though neither get it completely right.
All right. This is Oh man. Okay, I am sure everyone can agree with me. There's no fucking way Rain would not be on board. We're gonna try to steal these books.
Yeah, Rain would absolutely be on board.
Like we are fucking taking all of these. There is no way Hellebore is leaving these treasure troves of information here. Like they're mine now.
You don't see anyone around. Do you tuck them in Rain's bag of holding or something?
Yeah, I imagine that's probably where they would go.
Okay. Fair enough. You tuck them away in Rain's bag of holding, easily managing to sneak them to your possession, so no one is around to catch you.
Wonderful. Okay, we'll go over and try to get those other 3 books and probably not steal those because that would be a little obvious if that goes missing after the weird person asks for them. So we just gonna get those and look at them.
You make it your way up to the 3rd floor, and you do find the section on demonology, and you do find the 3 books that she talked about. The Abyssal Chrysalis and why it was made speaks of an ancient war, far older than the gods themselves, helmed by what are referred to as the Three Sons of Devastation. Two of these Sons of Devastation were cast away and restrained to planes that now belong to them, and the last Son of Devastation was cast back to the plane that he created. This last Son of Devastation is referred to as Duergus. Cast back to the abyss that he made, he was restrained physically within a tomb deep below the abyss. And as punishment for his crimes against entities simply referred to as the progenitors. You have no idea what that means.
I think she has heard that though. Didn't we asked Pondo what she was, and she was basically
right.
Yeah, I'm a progenitor.
You have heard that. I forgot about that. Yes, you do know what that means. Well, I don't know if you know what it means, but you've definitely heard it before. He was cast down and locked away in a tomb at the bottom of the abyss for his crimes against the progenitors. It is said that he managed to escape this tomb, but only with his soul, and his physical body remained within the tomb. His soul, then wielded by Demon King Icarus, led the blood war against the abyss, or against the Hells. And when Demon King Icarus perished, the soul shattered, scattering across the planes in these small fragments. And slowly, over time, it seems as though these fragments have been collecting within the tomb, now referred to as the chrysalis. Supposedly, within that chrysalis, Duergus's body is reforming, and he should, according to this book, return to the world should the fragments be returned to his chrysalis to bring devastation once more. This book theorizes that he would have no mercy upon anyone, and that his wrath would spread across all the planes.
Comforting.
But surely this book is lying to you, because why would he lie to you? He said he wouldn't hurt the material plane. He said he wouldn't hurt you.
I mean, he's nice, and he sung me those lullabies, so I actually think this book is full of shit.
Mm-hmm. Because it also says that he's a being of pure evil, but clearly not.
Yeah, I mean, nah, dude.
It also says that he's a manipulator, but, you're too smart to be manipulated.
Now, Helibor does not think she's too smart to be manipulated, but she's like, I'm being manipulated, but it's okay, because he's nice while he's manipulating me.
The book, The Fragments of Duergus, go more into depth about the fragments of the souls specifically. It describes them as small, white, hot crystals of pure arcane energy. They are more powerful than soulbound crystals when used in spellcasting and cannot be consumed, even if a spell that is channeled through them would normally consume the components. Even the smallest fraction of a fragment of Duergus can substitute thousands of gold worth of components. It is said as well that any who wield these fragments rapidly become corrupted by Duergos's influence, rapidly fall down paths of insanity, trying to seek out more of these fragments, more of these crystals, and usually their own destruction. It speaks of these fragments of Duergos as if they are boogeymen of sorts, sources of incredible power that should never be handled by anyone and should instead be cast away the moment they are discovered. It is said that the larger the crystal, the faster the corruption, and the larger the crystal, the more power it holds. It is also believed that these crystals can be formed together and seem to have power over the soul itself. As if, like, through these crystals, soul magic becomes incredibly easy to wield with enough focus and enough practice. When normally soul magic would be next to impossible for a mortal to learn. Not entirely impossible, mind you, but to the precision that can be attained through these crystals, basically impossible. But these crystals make it so that anyone, truly anyone, even if they are not studied in the arcane, can learn to sense, manipulate, and alter souls. The last book, The Prince of the Demons and His Influence, speaks of the demonic hierarchy, and how, despite what the terms mean in the material, prince actually refers to the highest rank of demons. Duergos, the Chrysalis Prince, the Prince of Demons, is the king, is what mortals would refer to as the king of the abyss. He is the ultimate power, the ultimate say. Demons physically cannot resist his influence. When he gives them an order, they have to abide. He was the only thing keeping the abyss orderly before he was locked away in his tomb. The reason the abyss was so orderly during the Blood War was because Icarus was wielding his soul and thus his power. It is said that Duergos, the Chrysalis Prince, has potentially had influence on every era of mortal kind. It is theorized that Oxum, at one point during the War of Heroes, obtained a fragment of Duergos, and slowly grew more and more ruthless after obtaining said fragment. It is said that during the before even the War of Heroes, Lay, the one who discovered the ley lines, had their hands on one of these fragments of Icarus and used it to craft the ley books. It is said that kings and queens, princes, princesses, generals, archmages have all wielded these crystals in the past, and that this book theorizes Duergos has had his hand in the formation of every era of mortal kind, and this book even goes on to theorize that the reason the surface hasn't developed nearly as much as the underground, in particular Domina Arnotta, is due to the influence of Duergos, though the book clarifies this is only a theory.
Hey. I feel like Hellebore is reading through these in the same vibe as like a kid like reaching under their fucking bed and like pulling out the porn magazines and hoping their parents don't walk in. Like, I feel like she's constantly just like every few sentences like, Twiggy, are you there? Are you watching? Are you there? Are you there? So fucking paranoid that he's going to catch her reading this. But she is taking as many notes as possible. She's fairly confident in her ability to be like, yo, help me do this shit. So like I do imagine that she's going to tell she's gonna go in a corner and try to get Philly to like help her write some of this down as well. Like just get 2 people on the job, if not Rain as well.
Yeah.
To get notes.
Three people taking notes.
But yeah, we're gonna do that, and she's really trying not to have that existential crisis right now. It's happening, but she's trying.
The one through line with each of these books is they all refer to Dwergus as a being of pure evil, a being of pure malice who wants nothing more than devastation.
Oh man. Yeah, she's definitely like writing those lines like with the little like the question marks after like each sentence, and then like the little bubble after that, like attaching the string, and is like, but he's nice? Question mark, question mark. How is this evil and nice?
Roll a perception check at advantage for me.
That is 18.
Okay. As you are going through, you're probably on the second book at this point. You hear footsteps approaching the demonology section. They sound heavy, like maybe armored footsteps, but not quite as clanky as you would. Not quite as clanky as some armors.
Okay, like Helper for a split second is fully convinced that like the dude has like gotten him like physical form just to come down here and be like, what the fuck are you doing? She that does scare her though. She's gonna try as quickly as she can to like get the books and like try to run and hide, like fucking feline agility this shit. Like, run and hide behind a bookcase.
You hide behind a bookcase as you see. I assume you're watching to see who was approaching.
Oh, definitely.
Peeking through the bookcase, you see a tall drow man in what appears to be thick black armor, but you don't see, it doesn't glint like metal, and you don't see where the metal like plates would overlap. But the armor is too rigid to be leather. As he walks into the demonology section, he's got kind of a scar from his chin down to his neck. He's got this beautiful earring bearing that same symbol of a book open with an eye in the page. As he kind of slowly begins to peruse some of the books in the demonology section, a look of focus in his eyes. And you do see on his back a large sword.
Okay. I feel like she's she is fully just like staring, like trying not to breathe, full on panic mode, like watching this guy until he leaves.
You see, after a minute, he finds a book, picks it off the shelf, and he flips to one of the first pages, seems to read for a second, flips about 2/3 of the way through the book, and will kind of turn around and lean against the bookshelf, his back to you, as he begins to read from the book.
Okay. If it doesn't seem like he's going anytime soon, I think she's just gonna try to make do and set up shop, like, behind wherever she's hiding and keep on trying to write the stuff down.
Okay. He reads for about 30 minutes, before he closes the book, slots it back, and will turn and walk away.
Okay. Assuming that she's able to get all these notes down, she is gonna like return the 3 books after she feels like she's perused them. Is she able? I mean, she was dead staring this guy. Can she check what book it looks like he was looking at?
Yeah. You find a book titled Demons and Their Weaknesses.
Okay, well, okay, she'll probably look at that because that's not bad to know. It's like, but there is also yeah, Jiminy Crickets. That one's, she thinks they're onto her.
You grab the book, and it talks about various demon types, their weaknesses and their strengths. Instead of listing off all the facts in this book, what I'm going to do instead is, if you would like to spend the rest of your, like, or a chunk of the rest of your free time for this day reading the book, I will give you a permanent advantage on checks to identify demon types and their strengths and weaknesses, their vulnerabilities, resistances, and immunities.
Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, she's mostly just going to be between studying that and perusing the other books that she, stole or took notes from or whatever. That's pretty much her thing.
Okay. 1 second. So you would probably spend a few hours reading this book then, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, Akatala,
Yeah.
you approach Avildare.
Yep.
Okay. As you approach, you see she is currently sitting at a table with the book that she's currently holding appears to be a common dictionary. While the other 2 books kind of stacked next to her appear to be on the cultures of the surface world.
Mhm. What if I were to like quietly walk up behind her and like look over her shoulder, what is she looking at right now? Like what's on the page?
She seems to be reading the dictionary like it is the most fascinating book she has ever read, going word by word. She's about halfway through.
Okay. And you said something about cultures?
The two books that are stacked next to her that she does not currently have open both appear to be about the cultures of the surface world.
Okay.
The you do also hear her like quietly pronouncing the words, sounding them out as she reads them, kind of going over, practicing, it seems.
I'm just gonna kind of like stand there for a second, and then we'll speak up, in kind of quiet common because we don't want to draw too much attention. I don't know why I didn't think that's. I don't know why I thought you were learning it a different way. Good practice.
Oh, she kind of adjusts her glasses slightly as she looks at you and smiles. Akatala, right?
Just Tala. She wouldn't know
Oh,
Akatala's
right.
full first name.
Tala,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. I'm glad you remembered that. Hi.
Hi. Sit. And she'll kind of slip a bookmark into the book and set it down.
Akatala will sit. You said your name was Avio, correct?
Yes, Aviel.
Wonderful.
Do forgive me for any mistakes in my speaking.
Believe me, I do that a lot, and I'm technically a native speaker to it. It's a very confusing language. They say it's simplified, it's not.
The rules don't seem to be consistent.
Rules.
Our
Yes, those are things.
our records claim it was an amalgamation of other languages.
Yes. That's actually why it was thought to be, a good middle ground for the entire surface of how many there were. It just instead means here's a bunch of silent letters that mean absolutely nothing.
I was
And if you
wondering
don't
about
spell
that.
it with that, then it's a different word entirely. I don't know. There's also the weird sounds of like this and that letter make this sound and blah 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 blah, and then this and this letter is or this kind of word is spelled like this and this, except for all of these exceptions. It's such a dumb language, honestly. Such a dumb language.
Certainly not an easy one to learn.
No.
Did you want to tell me about your world?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I was also wondering if there was something about here that you could tell me as well. Obviously, there's probably not as much, considering I feel like that's spoilers for upcoming events. But, like, just, I don't know, trading cultural secrets. No, that's not the right word. Facts.
The city is in 4 sections. Sections.
Sections works, yes.
There are
Districts also work.
districts. Thank you. There are doors between each district. And
Physical doors or doorways? Like gates.
Physical doors.
Physical doors, okay.
Gates. Yes, that's
Gates.
It is only possible to traverse from one district to another if you have passed that district's trial. So
Noted.
each district becomes less and less populous. You are currently in the... I suppose the easiest translation would be the Heart District. It is where most of our citizens live. Very few train themselves to be able to pass through the districts. It is unnecessary for life here, but I suppose it's like your wealth divides.
Ah, the class systems, yes. Those are also very stupid.
Stupid? No, they're genius. I mean, the fact that anyone, regardless of skill, could climb the political ladder just by having the right idea or
Oh, that is what you meant. I thought you meant, like, solely based in class and wealth. That's a stupid system. What you're
No,
explaining is not.
Is that not the same?
They are different, mostly because those with wealth, with money, pay their way up and don't actually work for it and are not qualified
But how would
in
they
the slightest.
how would they get the money to if they didn't work for it?
Assholes. Nope. They're a lot of the time they scam and steal. A lot of the time.
She just looks at you confused.
Take with bad intentions, lying about having good intentions from the people that they are supposed to look after.
So, it's a bit cutthroat. Is that really such a big deal?
When there's no purpose to it, in any sense of the way, it's just greed of one person. There is no benefit to anyone else.
I guess I'd never thought about it that way.
Well, but no, other political systems allowing people to genuinely work their way up the system, as long as they put in the effort and don't try and manipulate everyone in negative ways, then it can be quite decent. There's also the lying, the stealing of identities, and the murdering of earlier officials. That also happens. But
Right.
that's a different story.
That... You say that like it's a bad thing?
It's not a common thing, and it can get someone in more trouble if they're caught.
Weird.
Especially the stealing identity of someone that might potentially still be alive, just hasn't been seen in however long she said it was.
The followers of Wolf are... I mean, that's just how their politics works. You kill, lie, steal to climb your way up the ladder.
That's started a few too many international issues that it's become not... It's become something culturally frowned upon in the surface. That doesn't stop it from happening. That doesn't stop it from going unnoticed because people don't care as long as they're getting money.
Interesting.
It has benefited me a little, but we won't get to that part.
But yes, the districts are more they have more stuff. the deeper you get. I so gosh.
Jesus Christ.
Hmm?
Thank you, Mother.
No.
I didn't notice her open the door, so suddenly she just clears her throat. It scared me. Alright, we're good.
Each district is nicer. Is that?
Nicer, well kept.
Yeah, that. It's more well kept than than previous districts. And you're more influential in the council's decisions the higher, deeper you get.
That does make sense.
Um,
Noble ranks. The further you in, the higher the rank.
and it's in having a merit that makes you pass each trial. These are the same trials you'll be partaking in. Though no one has had a participation in the last trial. It has never been cleared before.
Has it been attempted before, or just never cleared, or has it just never been attempted?
It has been tested before to ensure it functions. But the final trial is only for the participating of outsiders, like you.
That makes sense. Alright, well.
If you
I don't
clear
suppose
the...
you'd be able to...
Hmm?
I don't suppose you'd be able to tell me what the trials are?
No.
No. Worth a shot.
The first one is a combat trial.
That is good to know. I don't know if I knew that. I might have done that.
Agnes told you already.
That's why I know that. I was listening. It might have looked like I wasn't. I was actually sort of listening. So. Keep it on sort of, though. I was listening, not really paying attention. So I did hear that, though. But thank you for reminding me.
I can also be telling you that it is our expectation that it will take an outsider, an outsider who passed the Drifter, an average of 3 to 5 years to pass the trials.
Really? Is that just due to, like, failing and restarting, or they take time?
The trials are very difficult.
Oh, okay, that does make sense.
Most residents of our city who choose to partake in them, they dedicate their lives to preparing.
Well. Who knows? Maybe there will be a few records broken.
You
They do
are
seem very
al-
desperate to get through this whole.
you are already breaking of the records. We have not had outsiders before.
Well, I highly doubt that it's going to stop there.
The fastest of the clearing of the trials was by Solan Calva, the current king of the Blades of Arnotta.
King of what?
The Blades of Arnotta. They are warriors who serve the sages of Arnotta, who serve the Great Elder.
Okay.
He cleared the final trial that our city's residents can have the partaking of when he was only 35 years old.
And when did he start this venture? Like specifically doing the trials, not just preparing for them.
He first attempted the first trial when he was 14 of the years, and he almost perished 4 times.
Well, that is good to know, to keep our expectations not high.
He is the smartest and the strongest of the Blades of Arnotta.
Well, from a leader, I'd expect almost nothing less.
But he is not the smartest or the strongest of the sages.
That is also not a super hard guess to come across. Nope, that's not how that sentence should be. It works.
The second fastest of the clearings is Irida Korun, the king of the Knights of Loth. She is 42 years and just cleared the final trial only a year ago.
And once again, if you don't mind me asking, how long total did it take her?
She, just like Solan, began at 14. That is the youngest you are allowed to partake in the trials.
Well then. I mean, this is a very, very interesting. Is there anything you'd like to know about, like, specifically about the surface? Any questions you wanted answered?
You talked about the ocean. Is it really
Yes.
blue?
So, is it blue because of the same reason ours is blue?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, science here a little bit. No, it looks like that because of the light of the sky and the reflects from the sky. It's not actually blue, but because the sky is, and its big surface reflecting the sky, it appears to be blue.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah, and especially when it gets to being a bit more
That makes
clear
sense.
and seems almost greener, it's because the sand is still maybe not as yellow as yellow, but still a yellowy color. And the light reflects blue, but also has that yellow underneath, so it comes off looking a little greener.
That makes... I am having understanding.
Mhm.
Don't mind me remembering halfway through this conversation that Common isn't her native tongue.
I don't think we know exactly how deep it is. There are some theories, but I don't know if there's always been something discovered that's always been deeper than the last. So I don't think we actually truly know how deep the deepest part of it is. Very vast. Can't imagine what sinking to the bottom of it would be like.
Well, it's at least deeper than our city.
That I am sure of, yeah. Just wonder where it ends. It's its own mortal abyss. I love it.
Some theories believe the abyss is beneath the ocean. Do you think there's any truth to that?
I don't fucking know. Is there that she would know of?
She's probably heard that theory before, but if she brought it up to, like, if she brought it up to her sources, they would have told her that it's probably best not to think about that, which is a frustratingly vague answer.
I don't know. It seems random. Unusual. It doesn't seem correct.
I don't believe it is either. It is likely another world, like the hells and the heavens.
Yeah. I mean,
It
I wouldn't be
is-
surprised if it directly opposes the heavens.
It is accessed in the same way, is it not?
My apologies, could you repeat that?
It is accessed in the same way, is it not?
I don't know. In what way specifically are you thinking of?
Through portals and planar travel, through your magics.
I mean, if someone can get enough magic to do so, then they probably could. I don't know if I've ever actually heard of it being done. It's definitely been theorized. Usually they just try and they just do, summoning rituals to bring the powers from the abyss to the material and not the other way around.
She nods.
Not that it helps them. Yeah. Anything else?
Is it true that on the surface there are three different three different sovereigns?
Oh, yes. Well, sovereigns. So yes, there is. Split into their own continents.
Those are the big islands, right?
Yes, those are the big land masses. I mean, there is the like international government, she does with air quotes, that has its own little island and has influence in all of them, but isn't like is not at the same level or above the leaders of the sovereigns.
Yes, the protection servants of Azius.
Yes, also known as APS. And
Perhaps.
Akatala, she is going to write it down. I mean, it's not a word specifically. We just refer to it as APS.
Mm.
Using its initials to make it shorter and easier to say, quicker to say.
I see.
Yeah. There is also HAT. But that
HAT?
doesn't really count.
Hat?
It is it is known as Honor Among Thieves.
Oh, I think I read about that once.
Really?
It's it is a gathering of the criminals. Yes.
Criminals, outlaws, some of them maybe. Well, for the most part, yes. Pirates. It's yeah, for the most part. Though I mean, not everyone there is exactly a criminal. Some of them are there because they were wronged and falsely accused, and there's really nowhere else safe for them to be.
Mm.
Not that it itself is safe, but it is definitely safer than persecution.
Yes. This is making sense.
How much do you know about it? I don't. How do you know about it? Really? With how? With. I mean, what I'm expecting your lives down here to be. I don't think you would have had much contact or whatnot with the surface.
We are knowing many of the surface.
I mean, overall, especially with the language you speak, it is fairly recent to our current times.
Yes. It is secrets of the sages. Cannot say.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I am knowing many things of the HAT. It is a gathering of the lost, the broken, and the villainous.
That sums it up. Yeah.
I saw that wording in a book. It is.
I mean, it can be somewhat derogatory, but it's not wrong.
It is a commune led by the King Pirates of Dread, right?
Not necessarily king, just known as the Dread Pirates.
She nods.
Right? Or am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay.
They are also sometimes called the Pirate Lords, but
yeah.
Never kings.
They are sometimes known as Pirate Lords. After all, there is... I mean, one of them is known as... The fuck did I name her? What? Shit, hold on. One of them is known as Lord Melicium.
Yes, I am knowing of this name. Is Lord and King not meaning the same?
No. King is the one at the top of everything. A lord is usually one below, or, well, one of a lesser rank, still of nobility.
Mm.
In the case of the Dread Pirates, though, being called king was excessive, if I recall the wording correctly. And it seemed like a bigger, like, insult to the monarchies to call themselves lords and be the ones on top, because it is led by multiple and not just one.
She nods. Yes, the 3 pirate lords of Dread.
Yes. You never did tell me who the third one is, if you ever came up with who the third one
I
is.
never came up with the third one. I want to know so much about the surface world, but I am not having the words to ask.
Well, here, if you'd like, I can just start talking, and if you come up with questions, you can just interrupt me anytime, yeah?
She nods and smiles. And I don't think we need to cover you ranting about the material surface.
No. She will probably mention at one point, like, sailing with the crew, but will never mention that she is one of the Dread Pirates.
Okay.
And will never explicitly say she is a pirate. It's kind of obvious due to context clues, though. And will never directly say that she's a captain, but once again, with context clues, that might be easier to figure out.
Yes. Okay. You chat with her for a while, and she listens intently. And I think that is a good place to call break. We will be back in 15 minutes, so 45 past the hour.
Okie dokie.
Wobble wobble.
Wabba wabba.
Wobble, 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 wobble.
Okay. Are we all back?
I am present.
Bina,
I
Tate?
haven't heard Nina
Yeah.
or Tate.
I'm here.
All right. Then, without further ado, we're going to cut back to Helly and Vemfer. With Dee Dee in tow, you guys begin to make your way back towards the city. Are you planning to do anything with Dee Dee, or are you just like having her float into the city as is?
Don't have anything to do with Dee Dee.
Say, I don't think we can really just put like a fabric over her. We'll pretend Dee Dee's a ghost.
I mean, you could stick her in the bag of holding and just have her like trunk hanging out. With the
My ingredients of my ingredient pouch, yes.
Helly doesn't
I
have a
need-
bag of holding, and I do feel like the opening for the bag of holding wouldn't be big enough to stuff the whole elephant in.
Yeah. Yes, my ingredients, my ingredient pouch. I need
Yeah,
an
it's probably
elephant's.
first,
I
yeah.
need a golden elephant's trunk. Yes, it's very important. Please ignore
mean-
the fact that it's wriggling around and breathing.
I mean, Helly would just bring Dee Dee into the city, and if anyone had anything to say about it, she'd be like, "Hey, go talk to the fucking guy. She's here with me."
If anyone had anything to say, she'd be like, "Just go to the talk to the guy." Or Vimper, get him. Damn, that's so crazy. Guard dog, get that bitch.
Then, not too far into the city, you are approached by a man in kind of large black armor that seems strange. It is much quieter than metal. It is far too rigid to be leather. It does not seem to be metal, but it is definitely hard and rigid like metal.
Titan.
Hmm?
Titan. Go on. Sorry.
The guard has that same kind of intimidating helmet that you've seen most of the guards in the city wearing as he approaches, glancing between you and the elephant, as he says, "What is that creature?" in Ancient Celestial.
So neither of us understand him.
Right.
Oh no.
After a moment, it's kind of hard to read his expression, but he seems to kind of shift slightly as, in common this time, he says, what is that, thing?
I do have to ask, as a drow, in my drow form, do I still have wings and a tail?
You do, yes.
I like how this guard's of the voice of this guard. I love how its octave dropped 4 octaves. When we started talking common.
Also, my halo, would that still be visible as a drow? I would assume.
It would.
So what was the question?
intimidating, and then he spoke in
What
common.
is that
He became
thing?
submissible. Like, what the fuck?
What is that thing?
This is Dee Dee. He's my servant.
He nods. Roll persuasion.
Okay.
You got a license for that?
Here's my elephant license. Persuasion, that's a 17. I rolled pretty low, actually.
He nods and says, I see.
Is this going to be a problem?
No, not officially. Why don't I lead you where you're going so you don't get approached again?
Can I insight this?
Roll insight.
I was gonna say, can I do the same?
Ten.
3.
This is the most trustworthy man I've ever
This is
seen.
the most trustworthy man.
What did you get, Hallie?
10.
Vemford, this is the most trustworthy man you've ever met.
Vemfer would put her life in this man's hands.
Hallie with a 10. The hesitation reminds you of Avil when she was trying to speak common. It's probably just because they're speaking a language they don't understand very well, that they haven't really used in conversation before.
If you must.
He nods and will kind of follow behind you, and will follow as you make your way. Are you headed back to the archive?
I suppose. I can't think of anywhere else you would want to go.
You don't
At
want to go
least
to the
nowhere
Denny's
else.
that I made?
Nowhere she would want to go without Hellebore.
Okay, fair enough. You approach the...
What's the point of going to Denny's? If you're there, you're family. But, like, Hellebore's not even there. So,
So what's the point of going
Is
to
that Denny's?
Denny's without family? I have no
That-
idea.
that's Denny's logo, right? Not logo, but slogan, right?
Motto.
I'm not sure. On more important news, I've created the Dalai Lama. Continue.
What
He-
the fuck?
He
I don't see what's so confusing.
follows you to the archive. You do get a lot of odd looks, but then people notice the guard behind you and immediately like turn away, or their expressions shift from like nervous to curious. As you approach the archive, one of the guards at the door kind of looks at the one leading you and says, Goloth. In the name kind of translates either way, but I guess you wouldn't necessarily know it's a name.
Right.
Koloth kind of steps forward and speaks in Ancient Celestial. You don't pick up the majority of what he says.
I'll whisper to Dee Dee and say, do you speak that?
It's... I know it, sort of, but I'm a bit rusty. We don't really use the old tongue anymore.
Did something happen that made it change like that? Because, like, we've spoken Infernal for a long time. It's never changed that much.
The difference is mortal kind have used the celestial tongue. They have a tendency to change things, change the meaning of things over time.
Now, hold on, because isn't the Empire's like native language Infernal?
Asunius is infernal.
Asunius?
Yes.
So the Heli would be like, the mortals don't speak Infernal?
Well, Infernal is rooted in the hells. Mortals simply borrow it, but even then, mortal infernal. I mean, I'm sure you've noticed they shorten words in weird ways and whatnot. It's not nearly as different as the old tongue celestial and the current celestial tongue, but mortals have been the focal point of the celestial tongue for a lot longer. And
So why did you change? Up in heaven? Why did you start doing what mortals do?
because mortals are who give us power. We are influenced by them. The door is opened for you to enter. As you enter into the archive, Didi continues. Plus, Celestial is a much older language. The old tongue was already starting to change when mortal kind got their hands on it. Infernal is relatively new in terms of in reference to the celestial tongue. It broke off from the old tongue when the Blood War began. Incorporated Abyssal and the old tongue and combined into a single language.
Now, I do know Abyssal and Infernal.
Mm-hmm.
So those are similar languages?
They are far more similar than the old tongue is to Celestial or Infernal, but with Didi pointing it out, you can absolutely see the connection. It's like how English is a combination of like Germanic languages and Latin, but when you look at a comparison between English and German, you can only sometimes see the comparison, whereas Latin is a lot more obvious.
Mm. Gross.
Gross.
But the unique combination is what makes it yours.
I guess it'd be a lot easier if these people were better at speaking common, though.
They are stuck in the past, I think. Didi says as you walk past technology you do not recognize.
I was about to say, they're driving fucking cars and they have computers. This is this is some freak shit.
I can tell.
Their whole society is built around protecting a relic from a bygone age, right?
Multiple, I would say. I mean, the laybooks are, sure, I guess to mortals they're not as big of a deal as the relics, but like the Linecraft is a very useful one. I mean, he thinks that he can take on an entire army with it.
He probably could.
So, multiple things being guarded down here.
She nods. I think I don't think mortals have ever truly discovered the extent of what the ley books could do. Not even Lay knew.
And hopefully they never will.
Hopefully. But... Helly...
Hmm?
Are you sure about all this?
Which part?
Everything. The demons, the books. Wouldn't it be safer for you to just go home at this point?
The last time I was home, it got attacked, and the devils were specifically trying to get me. It's safer for everyone if I'm not there.
But... Okay, couldn't you... I don't know. Go... live on... like, that island of protectors that they have, or... I just... I'm just worried about where this all is going.
Neither of my mothers became what they are by just sitting around when things got dangerous. If things are happening and I can be a part of them, I need to be. How else am I going to make the connections I need to as a ruler?
She doesn't look right at you. Okay. No, you're right.
Here, and she kind of just gestures to the archive we're walking through and says, "No, I don't think we should be here." I think we're being tricked, and I think it was too good of a trick for us to not walk into at this point.
Are you making your way back to your room?
Yes.
Okay. Then you are probably up on the, I think it was the 12th floor.
Yes,
Like
that's
you've
correct.
probably gone through the arcane elevator at this point.
Mhm.
As Dee Dee says, I just... Okay, Helly, I want to tell you something, but you can't... She kind of turns to Vemford. Neither of you can tell anyone else, okay?
Yep. You know I'm good with secrets.
Okay. The reason I was gone so long... We... were attempting to claim the Hall of Prophecy for ourselves. Those of us who are defiant of the rule of Aether. Aether you would recognize as the head Aasimar of Chrysalis, and essentially the current stand-in for the King of the Heavens.
Mm-hmm. Right. And how's it going?
We didn't manage to capture it, but I saw what was inside. Depictions of all of this. Of them.
Them?
Your companions. Your fiance, her brother, the armored one that you traveled with for a bit. But I only saw you once. I didn't see every prophecy, obviously, but they were there a lot. So was her dad and a few others. And you, the one I saw you in, was... You were playing a game of Fool's Deal.
Okay. I guess I do that pretty often.
I just...
With who?
She shakes her head. It didn't show. Just you at a table with cards.
Just me, not Rain. So it hasn't happened yet.
They're not perfect. They never are. I mean, I saw another one. I think it's come to pass because you've met the you've met the child of Adoria, right?
Yeah,
She
that's my
nods.
cousin.
And he wasn't in his draconic form, right?
And I wasn't there for that?
No, there
No,
was...
you said the only one you've seen me in was the Fool's Deal, but you saw my friends with Fernick and you didn't see me there?
I saw a dragon that was definitely Fernick bowing to Morna. The point I'm making is that they aren't literal necessarily. So,
So, do you think I've already played my part?
I don't know.
This is a lot of assumptions to make for why I shouldn't be here. Maybe I was just on the other side of the hall from you.
Maybe. I don't want you to get hurt.
I can't go anywhere without that possibly happening. And like you said, if these people are of prophecy, if this is all destined to happen, then it's either not going to matter that I'm here or it's important that I am here.
She
Right?
kind of nods slowly.
I think Helly actually looks to them for confirmation on that one.
Sorry, what was the question? I blanked out for a second.
Dee Dee is saying that the prophecies that she saw did not include Helly except for one, which we think might have already come to pass.
Right.
Helly is saying if everyone here is included in these prophetic things, then Helly is either it doesn't matter if she's here or it's important that she's here. And then she was not confident in that and is looking to Vimper.
I think Vemford just kind of is thinking about it and just kind of gives her a nod in return without saying anything. And still pondering things about it.
You're probably right. I just... probably overthinking things again. You press your
Dee Dee?
ring against the lock and door to your room and go on.
Before I do that, I'm probably standing outside the room. Ellie thinks a bit before opening it, and then turns to Dee Dee and says, Dee Dee, you've been extra cagey recently. Do you know more than what you just told me? Is there something you're afraid to tell me?
She averts her gaze and does not answer your question.
It's not a very convincing no.
Helly is by the second getting visibly more upset at this. Even with magic intact, I can't force you to do anything like I could the others. But this, I think, is in clear breach of our contract in some way, and I will find it. I will find that way if you don't tell me.
Her breath kind of hitches. Then she turns to look at you and says, I saw another one that I don't want to be true. The chrysalis, the heart of the abyss. And within the chrysalis, the body was not the demon prince's. It was your fiance. And the chrysalis was hatching.
You don't know what you saw.
November is looking very concerned.
I want to be wrong. But I don't think I am.
What do some stupid fucking paintings know anyway? They couldn't even put rain next to me in it. They're wrong. Whoever made them is lying.
No one made them. They appear in the Hall of Prophecy. as fate decrees. Artistic depictions of words given to prophets, to speakers of fate. Luna was the conduit for all of that, but well, now it is her angel Celine.
I think Helly kind of puts her hand on her chest where she was shown her legate should be, and like thinks about it and says, I will not be told by fate or by you or by anyone that I am not important. And I will not be told by anyone, not you, not fate, not the universe itself, that I can't save her. No more of this. And then I will put my ring in the door.
Okay. You open the door to your room and enter inside. Your companions are not there at the moment. They are still down in the library, though you don't necessarily know that.
Ellie looks a little more upset. She was hoping this would be the end of this conversation. But she just kind of huffs. Where are they?
Dee Dee flits into the room and just kind of quietly settles down, doesn't say anything, and is quiet unless addressed.
They're keeping Rain out of trouble. Probably gathering, probably researching the area.
I think given time to fester even more in it, Helly's listening to Vimper, and then just like it is sudden when she turns on Dee Dee again and says, "It's bullshit, okay? They don't." What? Just because I'm not as strong as them, that I don't even matter for this prophecy, that me being here isn't even worth putting on the wall?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Was Vimper there?
She slowly shakes her head.
Helly, I think Helly is too into it to not hide her relief. Like she would in her right mind.
Remember, just kind of raises an eyebrow. Was that meant to be surprising to you?
No,
In what world would I be somewhere where you're not?
I just thought. I mean, if you were there and I wasn't, then it might have something to do with my not being connected. Maybe I'm outside of what fate knows. But if
Hey, I mean, you're both half. She kind of pauses for a second. Actually, technically, Vemfer is full mortal. Mortals historically have had the power to defy fate. Sometimes, on rare occasions.
Alluding to what exactly?
I'm going to survive this. We're going to beat whatever enemies we have here on the material, and then we're going to go defeat Kiana. My mothers will be able to ascend to a higher ranking in hell where they rightfully deserve, and I will use my new armies of hell to assist you in taking that hall and burning it down.
Dee Dee does
And
not
that-
meet your gaze.
And that will be my defiance of this stupid ass fate hall. I do think, depending on how long it takes for everyone to come back, multiple times Helly resolves herself to being done with this. She doesn't want to talk about it anymore. And then a couple minutes later, she thinks of a new thing to say and rant about in regards to it. And then she'll be quiet for a little bit longer. And this will probably go off and on until something else happens.
Okay. She's probably in the middle of one of these rants when Akatala, when you finish talking to Avil, do you head back to your room?
Not quite. She's gonna ask to be pointed in the direction of books relating to, like, specifically Honor Among Thieves to see if she's in them.
Okay.
I don't know. She doesn't know if she'll be able to read them, but she wants to see if she can figure it out.
You are pointed in the direction of surface world politics, and you find a whole section dedicated to Honor Among Thieves, and you do in fact find whole books dedicated to you.
Are there any that she can read?
Nope.
Nope. Great. Fun. She kind of tries to bullshit her way through them before realizing just how much bullshit that is, and will put them back with a little bit of a sigh. And will attempt to find the other two. But probably doesn't go up any stairs and will just head back to the room.
Okay. Then yeah, Helly, you're probably in the middle of one of the these rants to Dee Dee about fate when you hear the lock click and the door open.
Helly shuts her mouth as quick as she can. But I do think Akatala probably still gets a few words in. I doubt anything incriminating, more just showing that she is angry. And but soon after Akatala is in, Helly is doing her best to make herself more calm and presentable.
She opens the door to yelling and just kind of doesn't give any sort of look, but just kind of looks at Helly like with confusion, but like some form of understanding. As she just, do you need me to come back?
No, I need you to be here.
Okay.
Where?
Well, I'm glad
Where's
to
Helly and
see
Randall?
you made it safe. Thank you for letting me. They are down in the library still, if they're not up here. I don't believe they went exploring. So, I kind of went to look for them, but that fucker is big. So I just kind of didn't.
Yeah, that seems like them.
It's just those two that can understand the language, right? Or can you do it? And are looking to Dee Dee.
I'm a bit out of practice, but I mean, in theory.
Enough to like teach someone things, or would I have to ask the other two?
I'm not much
I
of a
wonder if they have
teacher.
dictionaries.
I-
After all, they did learn the common language. I wonder if they have one of those like comparing language dictionaries. I might be able to find one.
Sounds like we're all taking a trip to the library then.
Oh, well, no, not from the library. I want to see if they have one that I can like buy and keep with me. Because that seems... I never thought it would be a useful language to try and find ciphers to, but I'm starting to rethink those decisions. So... I might be... I should have asked that while I was down there. I'll have to wait till next time. On an upper note, I did find some things out about the trials. Turns out, they can take years.
We don't have ears.
Yeah. Apparently, there are 4, I believe. Well, she said 1 for each district. Or at least to get into each district. I don't know if that necessarily means that the Drifter was one of them. And then we're here, and then we have 3. Well, no, we still have 4 more, because there would be the 3 and the final. I think. I don't know. All I know is that apparently the ones who have gotten in, I don't know if she meant quickest or if she meant youngest, but she did say quickest. They started at 14. They finished their final trial at 35, I believe.
Well, maybe they were just dumb because they were children, basically.
Well, I mean, for the ages of 14, yes, but later years. However, they are also the ones that live here. So we might have different advantages. But apparently, yeah, they can take years because you have to retake them.
Or maybe we have disadvantages from not being here. Maybe if it took them years, it would take us decades. And we don't have decades, and so we should leave.
You know, maybe it is a good thing I got up here before the other two.
As much as I would love to agree with you, I don't think if we leave, it will be all of us leaving. I don't think we can pull Helbor from this place at this point.
Helibor, more than any of us, has a time crunch.
And how do you plan on convincing her to leave with us then, if that ultimately becomes the plan?
And we might just have to fail.
We don't... Failing the trials could be worse, especially if the first one is combat. It would probably just kill us.
I don't think
if
so.
we don't try it.
By the sounds of it, no. After all, they've had to retake them through their own societies to even make it to the next districts, so
That means
I
that
don't know
she
if
would
it's
just want to
deadly.
keep trying over and over.
And then she starts running out of time. She might realize then that there are more important things to do. That being said, I did agree to help you get it, so I'm here to do that. But, I don't know. If we need to come back to it, might not be the worst.
We do at the very least know how to get started.
Well, anyways, did you guys have fun with your excursion? Did you find clearly you found your friend here.
It was a very
learn
nice walk.
anything else?
No.
All right. Well,
Other than, I guess, Dee Dee's pretty sure that Velnaranki never had kids.
I mean, he might have created him instead, like created a body that got inhabited. I don't know how it works, but some sort of mold.
He said he was his kid before the Eldritch stuff started happening, didn't he?
I mean, potentially.
I believe so.
However, there's another big aspect to this that I'm not entirely sure if you thought of this when you were telling those two. He was going against the Celestials. He probably hid it from all of them. There's a good chance that you just were never able to find that out. So.
Helly looks at Dee Dee.
I mean, it's possible.
So.
Whatever. He could be lying through his teeth about it, and it would not help us in any way. So.
Yeah, that too.
Those two could be in a library forever. We might want to go look for them.
Fair enough.
That'd be smart.
I mean, oh no, you wouldn't be able to do that anyways with the whole no magic thing. Because like Philly's with them, but I don't. You wouldn't really be able to do anything with that, considering he's with them.
Ellie kind of looks down at her arm, where her contracts would be. I guess they still are, just barely is doing a lot of heavy lifting in the sentence barely visible. She says, no, none of my connections are working.
Well, I mean, if you would like to go look for them, go for it. Good luck. I have no idea where they are, and like I said, it's big. So,
Yes, we go down.
We go.
Okay.
Is Dee going with you, or is she staying in the room?
I leave Dee Dee in the room. Helly is done talking with Dee Dee for now.
There's that.
You make your way to the library, and it takes a little bit, but not too long, to find Hellebore and Rain in the demonology section, currently taking intense notes on a book titled Demons and Their Weaknesses.
Useful.
They have a whole section about this?
Elibor flies up about 8 to 10 feet in the air as she is a little too entranced at the moment. It doesn't hear you guys coming. Oh my gosh. Hallie, Vimper. Oh my goodness. This is like a treasure trove. There's like so much information. Come here. Quiet voices. They have 3 whole books on Dragus. And like I took so many notes. I'm so many notes. My hands are aching. They're hurting a lot, right? They're bleeding. I think I'm bleeding.
Is she bleeding?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
You might.
Maybe
It's gonna be hard to
break.
to read the notes.
The blood hasn't gotten on there too much. Plus, it already has a bunch of blood. I write most of my religious prayers in blood. Anyway, okay. Oh, where to even start? All of the books pretty much agree that well, they say that he's really bad and evil and all of that. And they kind of all agree on that. But apparently he's been like super influential, like crazy influential. Okay, so he's like super duper old, like old, and apparently he has like, from my understanding, there's like 2 other people like him that are like really old, and like their whole thing is like like destruction, kill everything, that whole vibe. But like he went down into the abyss and was like trapped there, locked there. Yeah. And then he like put his power soul thing into Icarus. And then like Icarus was like blood war, kill people, and then like he like did that, and then like whenever he fell, that's what made like the shatters, the fragments. That's when they fragmented. So apparently they've been fragmented for like a really long time, and it's theorized that like a whole bunch of people had them. Like it was theorized that like Oxa might have had one, and that's like what made him be a piece of shit. And then like a bunch of other people. So yeah, apparently they've like existed, and there's a whole lot. I'm just bullet pointing. The lay books are made from his magic, or like a piece or something, too.
What?
Does Vemphor's like telepathy speech work down here?
I don't think so.
Okay, never mind then. Then while Elibor is explaining all the books say he's an awful person and going on about that, Vemphor gives like Helly a distrusting look and then looks back at Elibor.
I do think just as soon as you mentioned the lay books, like Hallie puts her hand on her pouch to make sure it's there, and then as you finish your sentence, she is like gripping that pouch and looks very concerned. What do you mean?
They like, well, I mean, all of it is like very very based. They made it clear that it's not like super known fact, but it's theorized that like the lay books were made from a piece of him, and that's why they're super powerful and why they're corrupting.
Which books had this information, Elibor? Sorry.
This one.
She'll point at whichever one had that specifically.
Interesting. Thank you. And Vemphor's gonna go read it.
The book titled "The Fragments of the Demon Prince" speaks, like Helibor said, it theorizes on the nature of these fragments. It claims that Icarus, his soul was shattered when or that Duergus' soul was shattered when Icarus was cut down during the Blood War, and the pieces scattered across the plains to be found later. It claims that these soul fragments have immense arcane power. It is theorized that Lay channeled power through one to create the Lay books. And it is theorized that these it is theorized that Duergus has had an impact in every generation, every era of mortal kind, from Oxum having born having had supposedly a fragment of Duergus, to many kings and queens passing them down as heirlooms to their successors, to members of APS wielding them, etc., etc.
So the books are also part of his soul?
Made from it, supposedly.
Less
Again, it
parts
is
and
just a
more-
theory.
It seems less part of his soul and more channeled through his soul, if that makes sense.
Ellie shakes her head. No, that doesn't make sense. The books have a mind. The books want things.
It may not be as like, I don't think it's probably like a conscious thing where it's like, you know, I don't know. I doubt he's like directly controlling it or anything. It's more just maybe like,
Yeah. His soul had an influence on them, could be.
yeah.
They aren't parts of his soul, they were just made with the magic his soul has, so if this is correct, which... Oh, no, she wouldn't be able to read it because it's an ancient celestial. Never
It
mind.
is an ancient celestial.
Never mind, I totally forgot.
No, this is one of the two that was only available in common.
Fuck yeah, never mind.
And
Eat shit.
And the other one was also available in Abyssal.
Talon,
Yes, me.
is what they're saying, does that make sense? Like, could it be made from his magic and not be a part of him?
In theory, potentially. If his soul is being used as a spellcasting focus, then the magic imbued into the book would have used his power without being a part of him. However, the theory doesn't add up. If the books were made from his power, they would probably be far more malicious instead of they're more malignant in the way they act. They seek mortals who want to learn. They don't necessarily seek destruction, death, or anything of that sort.
It's less that they want to hurt things and more that they want to be used.
Yes.
You said this is all theories?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
theory
really-
in what context? Theory in the context
this is-
we normally use in the sense of this could be a thing, or theory in like the scientific sense, which is the highest understanding we have of a concept.
It is more of this is their best understanding of how the lay books came to be.
Okay, so it is more the scientific understanding
Yes.
than in the sense of theory, and not just this is a theory I have.
We talked before that when Helly recognized one of the lay books, the flesh crafter that she has, it was like just a physical recognition because Heli can't sense things like other devils can.
Yes.
Has it been told to her at all if this book has a demonic aura?
No. Philly is in the room. You could ask him. But I will say that it definitely would have come up when she was learning about them that like they were demonic in nature if they were, and that didn't come up. So if they were created with his power, there is no semblance of that power remaining on them, which also doesn't really add up.
Okay. Heli shakes her head. And she kind of grips the book even tighter, not taking it out of the pouch, but like it is clear that what she is doing. And just says, "No, this is a book clearly written for an agenda. They were set out to make everything about Dwergus, and so they reached for things that just don't make sense. The lay books, they're different. They don't feel like him."
I mean, I
That
could
very well
also
be.
just, like, once we're back out there, I mean, I could just ask.
I don't trust him to give a correct answer.
Oh,
Because if these are part of him, and then he will want them. And so if he wants me to get them, he will tell you that no, they're not part of him. So it doesn't matter.
And which one of the books talk more about Dwergus as a whole, unless just what happened to him? Eleanor?
You
I guess
not
that
asking
could
me?
no, I was no, it was Nat.
She will point to whichever one fits that description best.
Is this one is it, or any of the other ones readable to her or nah?
So 2 of them are in common, and 1 of them
Yep.
is in abyssal.
I do not have Abyssal.
Okay.
Move on.
I do.
There
Never would know that though, but grab it anyways.
there are very few details on Dwergus as an entity, save for the one that talks about the chrysalis and its origin and its necessity, which only ever refers to Dwergus as a son of devastation, an enemy of the progenitors, and a being of pure, unfiltered malice. It says he created the abyss, which aligns with what you understand. It says demons were made to serve him, which aligns with what you understand. And it says that at the end of a great war with the progenitors, he was locked away in a tomb, and only after... it simply says generations. You don't know what that means in this context. Only after generations was he able to escape, but only his soul was able to escape. It inhabited Icarus, started the Blood War, and when Icarus was slain, he was scattered across the plains.
I do think while she is reading this, she'll walk over to Heli and just kind of like, not without looking, just kind of like puts the abyssal one kind of down in front of her and like taps it twice and then walks away and keeps reading.
Heli will sit down and attempt to read this book. He does speak Abyssal. She can read it, but
Will
if
she
it's too
must
boring.
read her? Yep, that's essentially what I'm betting on. It's like, please, for the love of God.
It is these books, as I have already described, there is very little details on Dwergus as a person and they're more about Dwergos's influence, his influence on the plains, his influence on society and civilization, despite the fact that he has been locked away in the chrysalis for longer than even the gods lived for. He is still deemed one of the most active malicious threats in the plains. He is believed to be a near omniscient entity in how many fragments there are scattered about. And it is believed that his only goal is the destruction of everything.
Ellie probably reads like maybe a chapter or two of this, and then just looks up and shakes her head and says, "It's just more of what we already know. He's bad. We shouldn't listen to him, and everything he says is to further the goal of destroying everything."
But it is good information to know in detail if it is, and we don't really have anything else to do, so better gather any information we can while we're here, because we won't be able to later.
I already spent like a really long time like gathering everything. You guys can make your own notes though if you want to, but if you don't want to like read everything, I did kind of do the heavy lifting.
And she'll point to her notes, which are extensive, but if you even like glance at this for just like a few paragraphs, it is very concerning how light she is making this.
The angle I was coming at from it was Vemper did kind of like glance at the notes, see it was like, oh, these are very like get that essentially get that vibe, and went, no, I need to read these books.
Yeah,
it's kind of the angle I was coming at. Because I felt like that was already how things were gonna be.
Just to be completely clear, not light as in not detailed, light as in like he's not actually that bad, guys.
No, exactly, which is exactly what I meant. Yeah, is how I was understanding how light was being used in that sentence.
Hallie closes the abyssal book and says, "Yeah, we'll do some reading of our own. I'm sure your eyes and hands are tired if you want to go up to the room."
Yeah, I could use a nap. I mean, it's been a really long day. We should probably all rest.
Well, we'll come up soon.
Okay. Did you get Dee Dee? Okay. I mean, I'm assuming you did.
She's up in the room. Yes.
She's
Okay.
very safe.
Okay. Good. All right. I will. Well, Finfer, could I borrow you just for a quick moment? Because I was reading things and, well, I've been meaning to ask about this for a bit, but I have a question.
Ask away.
Helibor's privacy is taking Winfer to the next row of books. One row over.
I don't think Vemper stops reading this book the entire time. Like, she is fully paying attention to Helibor, but is also like nose deep in this book.
Okay, so I am attempting to be more open-minded about things in general, and I was thinking about, I mean, we do a lot of fighting and stuff anyways, and the next trial is like combat and all of that. So I couldn't help but notice that the way that we engage in combat is very different. Like, I feel like we're both, I mean, you're very good at it. I'm somewhat adept. But it's more the way we approach it, I guess. I mean, my whole life I've always been better at, well, reaping than sowing, you know. It's always something I guess I've always been better at taking lives and helping. But usually when I fight, I'm like, okay, I just gotta do this as quickly as possible and get it over with. It's a task, a duty, something that has to be completed and should be as efficiently as possible. Not really something to be enjoyed, just something that has to happen. But
Crocodile looks up from the book.
but I've noticed that some other people, yourself assumedly counted among those, seem to like really like it. I mean, I know they have like combat tournaments are like a huge thing, and people seem to like really like when other people get hurt, and I've never experienced that. I've never heard something and liked it. So I'm really curious. Was that a learned thing, or have you always been like that?
Vemford kind of like looks to where Helly would be, and then kind of like shuts the book, keeping like a claw in where she was reading. I think growing up in an environment where you don't necessarily have the approval nor the I'm looking for a word, nor expected to be much more than a presumed worth. I'm very I've been doing this for quite a while, and so when you're given the opportunity to show that you are worth more or that you are capable, you strive to keep hitting that and keep showing that. And somewhere along the way, I think I snapped into combat as my way of less proving to people, but proving to myself that I am at the very least worth the axe I wield. And I've taught myself that to enjoy that process, to enjoy being good at something. And I fear and not fear, but I get lost in that feeling. And it is for sure developed into a sense of, to be crass, pleasure for me, being able to show I am better at you than this. Me throwing people aside like they're paper tells me that I once again was able to show that I am better than you. That's one of the few things I'm able to hold on to very frequently. So yes, I I very much enjoy the carnage I can bring. It's almost comforting in a way. if that answers your question at all. It wasn't something I necessarily learned. It was just something I developed.
I see. How I know calendar time and years and stuff doesn't mean as much in the hells, but how, if you had to guess, how many years have you been like actively doing this?
How would we save Empress?
Hmm.
Like,
We have not given a number to either Vimper
no,
or Helly.
we have not. I'm trying to like.
Helly. When asked how old Helly is, Helly said that she didn't know because they do not keep track of that in Hell.
Mhm. Well, we don't, as Helly has said before, we don't keep track of that. But the closest thing we have, the best answer I can give to that was since I've been able to hold a knife, and I was walking when I hatched.
Okay. And when did the um enjoyment begin to take place?
I do barely remember a fight. It was. She kind of like, I don't know. I think she kind of like closes her eyes a bit and in thought. We weren't on a battlefield. It was training. We were practicing. I believe this was around when I started, when they started molding me to be a soldier. The looks, the way everyone, the way the the way people look at you when they assume they immediately know everything about you. You're introduced, they're shown, they they grow opinions, they make assumptions. So walking into a room full of people immediately assuming that they're better than you. She almost seems like she's enjoying reliving this in like a weird kind of sadistic way. You're and they try to show you the place they have set out for you. It was, I believe, it was meant to be a show of skill. See how long you can last until you buckle. It's in flashes. I don't remember the scene much. But I don't remember buckling. It just became immediately became fun showing, improving, everyone's assumptions wrong. That enjoyment for me, I believe, started nearly immediately. I don't know that there was ever a moment where I didn't enjoy the rush of breaking people.
Halibur listens to this. There's not judgment on her face. It's just contemplation as she kind of processes this and will slowly nod.
I see. I believe that everyone processes things differently, and given the life that you have been, well, forced to live, I feel as though that is a blessing, perhaps, that you do feel that way. I will not judge you for that. I wanted to ask because I've noticed, I mean, in stories or just the way that people talk, a lot of people, when they start, like, I guess, going out of their way to kill people and in lives, they become like a slippery slope. Essentially, they stop caring about it, or they start to enjoy it, find it as, you know, fun. And I suppose that's a way of looking at it. And I was a bit scared that I guess I would turn out like that. I don't plan on stopping killing anytime soon. I realize now that that's my place and my purpose, but I was a bit scared that that might change me, but I think now it won't. I don't think so.
Remember's gonna take like a couple steps closer and just kind of like rest her good hand kind of between where Hellbore's ears would be, and kind of like scratches her head a bit. I don't think it would be a good look on you regardless.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, after all, I'm trying to emulate Dad, and he never acted like he liked killing anyone. It was like the, you know, cold, edgy duty type of thing. That's what I'm trying to go for. So I'd hate to not live up to the image.
I think you're doing quite a fine job of that.
Really?
Of course. Try not to lose that sense.
Of course, of course. And I guess don't stop laughing really loud as you kill people.
So long as you don't start trying to laugh louder than me, I think we'll get along just fine. But not get
Perfect.
along. I think we'll understand each other just fine.
Okay. Well, I was just curious and wanted to ask and everything. I'll let you get back to the reading, though.
And you go take a nap. You've had quite the long day.
Quite an emotional journey, for sure.
Quite a long couple months.
Yeah. Okay, bye-bye.
She'll turn and skip away.
Vember will walk behind.
Walk behind.
Well, like no, like comes out from behind and then walks back to whatever.
I do think when you get back to the books, Helly is sitting down reading actually quite intensely. but the book that she has open is not the Abyss book. She has the Fleshcrafter open.
Gotcha.
Oh. Roll a wisdom save.
There it is.
Ooh. I actually am proficient in wisdom. That is a 23.
Okay. How? Okay. As you read,
I can walk you through Helly's thought process on doing this if that helps at all.
Sure, yeah, if you don't mind.
Helly, for a couple things, realizing that the books want to be used makes her think that she will need to at least occasionally read them, or else they will get bored of her and want to go to someone else. And realizing that Arnotta, the guy here, can use his laybook in a place without magic, makes her think she might not need an inherent connection to actually use them, which is something that she has been assuming. And she's realizing that the Fleshcrafter, she might be able to just make a Leygate with her for herself.
Okay.
And for those three reasons, she is attempting to read the book now.
Okay. You read the book very closely, very intently, as it describes in a language that you have never seen before, yet understand all the same, these techniques of arcana that don't make any sense to you, and yet your mind is wrapping around them anyway. You push back the book's corruption, its desire to be wielded to its own will with your own. And do you continue to read this book for some time? Like, will you... I'll give you a grace period of like walking back to the room if you want. But like, would you spend a significant time tonight reading this before you go to bed?
If Vimfer doesn't stop her, then yeah, I think so. And if Vimfer does ask her what she's doing, she would explain the three things I just said.
She can explain that, yes. Would
Go
I was gonna ask you what Vemfer and Hellebore, I suppose, would do when they see Helly reading this.
I don't think Vemfer says anything immediately. I think she's waiting for Hellbor to dip before saying much.
I do think that Hellebor, upon seeing this, would kind of take a little bit of a triple take, and nudge Helly just slightly.
Helly, you're reading it?
Yeah. Helly doesn't look up from the book as she says that.
With more than a little bit of concern, Hellebor just kind of gulps a little bit.
Okay. I guess that's fine. I mean, you said you're uncorruptible. You're Helly. You're an angel. you're gonna be fine. You're absolutely fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
And she just keeps repeating that the entire time.
I think after like maybe the fourth or fifth you're fine, Ellie will look up to her. Almost just to show that she can. And if she can, DM.
You succeeded on your wisdom save.
She will look up to you and say, I'm fine.
You're fine. Okay, you can look away. Okay, good. I mean, I'm just remembering, like, Ivor when I was a fly, and, like, I was just, like, being a fly, and flies are flies, and I was buzzing, and he wasn't looking up, so I figured you were never gonna look up again. But you're looking up. Okay.
Ivor,
It's awful and stupid and dumb. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry I even, like, put you in the same sentence. You're right.
Ellie just kind of smiles and says, yeah, we'll go with that. But you should be getting to bed.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Okay. I'll go ahead and start the snuggle pile if everyone wants to, fill in around me, or feel free not to, or feel free to. I'll just be over here. Hellebore goes, like, smack dab in the middle of the bed.
Okay. So then you spend a significant amount of time reading this book before you go to bed?
Yes.
Okay. You unlock the first level of properties within this book.
Whoa.
It is very easy to break into these books. It is learning the complicated shit that gets difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Using this book once per day, you can cast the spell Alter Self using your intelligence as your spellcasting modifier. I will have an item available for you in a minute. After session, I will put it on D&D Beyond.
Okay.
Once per long rest, using intelligence as your spellcasting modifier. You know what? I might make it as a feat, not an item, because then I can actually fuck around with your stats.
Yeah, that'd be smart.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Once per long rest, you can cast the spell Alter Self using the book as your spellcasting focus and intelligence as your spellcasting modifier. And you gain the ability to cast Cure Wounds using your intelligence modifier a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest.
Ooh. I assume these are things I can only do if I have the book.
Only if you are using the book. You have to not only have it on you, but pull it out and read from the pages.
Okay.
It has to be your spell book for these spells.
Okay. And notably, the magic comes from the book for this.
Correct. That's what I paused to consider before I started... before I asked you whether you were going to spend significant time reading this or not, is I had to think whether they channel through your legate or not, and I decided they do not.
Sweet.
However, I do think going forward, because you do not have a legate to channel your stuff through, your DC is going to be slightly higher on your wisdom saves because it has more direct access to your soul.
Okay.
Not too many, like 1 or 2 points higher.
I was gonna say, I only have a +4 on wisdom. I got very lucky with that 19 I rolled.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it like DC 20 instead of DC 10 or whatever.
Your DC 15 is now 45.
Yeah,
Good luck.
It's gonna be like,
Is it I roll to see if I can use it every time I try to use it, or just when I try to study it more?
When you try and study more, you have to roll against the corruption. The DC grows higher every level you get.
Okay.
Not level as in character level as in level of properties.
Right.
So the first level of properties is DC 10, which with the modification probably DC 11, maybe 12, and then it goes up a couple points from there.
Not me using my my bank of my Halo bank to try to add +10s to meet these DCs.
Oh my god.
It's me borrowing other people's willpower to not be corrupted.
I love that.
Okay. But you do read, you do gain the knowledge, the power within the book, and it is...
What?
Go on.
What I am setting, well, Helly is doing the idea of her making her own legate is something that she is like, I wonder if this could do it. With just this preliminary reading, would she get the sense that if she continued down this road, that is possible?
With the preliminary reading, the book promises to give you full control over every aspect of the flesh of yours and everyone else's, of your body and those of all others around you. Which, it would not be too much of a jump to assume that would include a legate.
Okay.
However, it does not promise control of the mind or any such affliction. Only control of the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the stories you've heard of the things accomplished with this book, people creating living beings out of nothing, like sort of flesh golems from this book, that feels like creating a legate is probably going to be easier than some of the feats you've heard accomplished with this book. But you also don't know the specific sciences behind a legate, so you're not entirely certain.
I also want to point out, in a very Helly move, part of this is motivated by pure pettiness, and just the idea that if that stupid mortal can read his laybook and not get corrupted, then she should be able to as well.
Absolutely.
I love that. Okay. You read, and then you go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
All of you go to bed, I assume.
I do think Vemper is going to spend like a significant amount of time in this library doing whatever kind of like little research she can.
Okay. What are you researching?
Anything more she can find on demons, anything she can like find on the history of the area itself. Just kind of shit within that like region.
Well, those are two vastly different regions.
I'm very aware.
But you do find a large swath of history tomes about the city of Domina Arnotta written in Ancient Celestial.
I think I think a part of it is also she just like finds anything she can read and reads it.
I would say a lot more of these scholarly tomes seem to be written in Common, whereas more of the, like, history books, tomes that anyone could write, in theory, are written more in Celestial, Ancient Celestial, or Undercommon, on the rare occasion. But the books that you can read about demons, there's not a whole lot of new information that you gather outside of what was already discussed, though you do get a deeper understanding of what you kind of already knew. Roll investigation for me.
Investigation. 18.
Mm. Okay. I will add to I will say that you gain the same kind of benefit as Hellebore, in because of your reading of these books, and your deeper understanding. You also will have advantage on checks made to identify demon types, their vulnerabilities, resistances, and immunities.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, though, you do all sleep. And when morning comes the next day, you are particularly confused because you did not dream. You felt the passage of time in its entirety. You are rested. You have completed a long rest, but you are aware of the time that passed while you were asleep. You did not dream of anything. You did not pass on into the realm of dreams. And that is extremely disorientating. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you all for coming, be you viewer or player. And I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye for now.